So previously you talked about how pleasure and seeking pleasure can drain energy, but can you talk about how those pleasure stimuli can be used for meditation?
Yes. The pleasure that drains energy, because any time we experience pleasure, we drain energy, because objects of pleasure don't have consciousness, don't have that much prana. But we drain our prana in order to enjoy the pleasure. So in the process, we drain our energy. So pleasure comes at the cost of draining energy. For example, eating gives pleasure, we drain our digestive energy. All other stimulus drains our vital energy. But if somebody says that I have beautiful paintings around, I walk in the nature, how would it drain my energy? No. In situations when you use objects that take you inward so that it becomes a tool of meditation, instead of draining the energy, it vitalizes, because pleasure comes as a spark of joy, which is our true nature. Atman has consciousness, and consciousness reflected as pleasure or as happiness. So when the objects allows you to go inward, then same thing becomes meditative. So if you are sitting in the nature, watching the nature, you are going inward. So it takes you inward, so it becomes a tool of meditation. So the objects that can become destructive and draining your energy, same thing can vitalize you. For example, eating is a common thing, people get pleasure. How do you get pleasure? Because people eat, they eat unconsciously. They think it tastes good, but they are talking, they are worried, their mind is wandering, and they eat in short time. So their pleasure is short-lived. It is only in the mind. Also, pleasure is diluted by attachment. Like, this tastes good, this restaurant is good, next time I want to come to the same restaurant. This recipe is good, I want to have it, I want to share with my friends. So we dilute it and distract ourselves from the experience. Same experience, if you eat very slowly with awareness, so that in the process of eating you become more meditative. In the process you forget yourself as subject, food as object, and process of eating. It becomes one. That means eating has become a means of meditation. Right now I'm teaching, but my eyes are open, my mind is active, but I'm totally involved into it, so I don't know how the time goes by, I don't hear any sound, I forget about all the sensation. And also you are listening to me, your ears are involved, your mind is involved, but you are ignorant of all the things happening, you don't think or worry about it, it takes you inward. So this is open eye meditation. Teaching or studying becomes meditative. So it is not the object that is always destructive, but it can be used as a tool for meditation. So everything comes from Atman. Atman has three qualities: Sat, Chit and Anand. Sat means immortality, that means we are permanent existence. Chitta means consciousness, everything is known within. Everything is revealed because we use some external faculties, our mind, and so we gain the knowledge, but all the knowledge is known within, because consciousness is the one that recognizes. So consciousness is the one responsible for the knowledge and control, and Anand means bliss. Our nature is bliss. Bliss is like a substratum. That means it's constant flow. There is no distraction. Distractions come from the mind. So if we stay at the level of consciousness, we are always blissful. But with the waves of the mind and stimulation of senses and intellect, thinking, judging, analyzing, and building attachment disturbs the peace. So if we want to find peace, we go to that substratum. We can use instruments or objects, sense objects as a means. We can use our relationship, friends and relatives as a means to take us inward to find bliss. So really, distraction comes by our mind, and the same mind, when becomes introverted, it takes us to the place. So consciousness is in the center, mind is in the middle, and world is outside. So if consciousness is pulled toward the world, we get disturbed. With consciousness pulls the mind inward, we find happiness. Anything you want to bring out?